Hi everybody, how you doing? All right, it's really my passion and like they're certified. I'm just life lessons. You feel me? Like they said, I was on 13 pills a day, and 2008 was the last time I took a mental pill. But it forced me to study. I studied every religion. I studied chakras. I studied energy, and that's how and meditation. So like that's why I'm passionate about it. So like my story helps somebody else. Like right now, my heart is like racing. You feel me? But I have to remember to like breathe, and everything's gonna be alright. But it's my passion too because like now where I am, I've written for Queen Latifah, Lee Daniels Star, like Being Mary Jane, Real Husbands of Hollywood, like all these different shows. But now I'm trying to do this to show you like doesn't matter what they diagnose you as. You have the end choice. You can decide where your life goes. So that's why I wanted to start doing it. That's why I'm passionate to help somebody else to know you're not alone and yes, you can do it. You can pull through.
What myths about mental health would you like to dispel?
I think the biggest myth from my perspective is that it's not in your control. And that's only because of my story. Like, it's not, and I'm not dismissing anybody that has been subscribed medicine because I was on it for a long time, you know what I'm saying? But the biggest myth to me is that it's not in your control because it 100% is. Every day you just take one step, and then before you know it, you're where I am today, you see what I'm saying? So like that's, I think, the biggest myth, and to me, and also that it's something that's it's negative or something where it's so foreign, like, and you're a black sheep if it happens. I feel like everybody has some sort of imbalance at some point in time, but it's just people that become mentally unstable is because you don't learn how to release it or you don't know how to balance it. So that's what causes that. So if I think that's another thing, that the negative stigmas is something that I feel it should be. It's a myth because everyone has it. You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Describe therapeutic topics that Black women could benefit from exploring.
In my opinion, the biggest thing is meditation. That was my savior, like truly, meditation. And at first it's gonna be hard for you. So maybe not, but for me it was hard because we're so used to going and being stimulated from outside stuff. So when you meditate, it forces you to sit with yourself. And it saved me, I promise you. So that's my thing. I feel like every black woman should explore because every black woman should be in tune with the God inside of her, and that's what meditation leads you to.
And I want to add to that also, so like a general phrasing for things that are kind of related to meditation we call mindfulness. Mindfulness practices, right? Because mindfulness practices can go beyond just meditation. You can mindfully eat, you can mindfully walk, you can mindfully move, right? You can mindfully be in certain spaces and do certain things and create certain, paths in your life, so to speak.
Yes, and I think another thing to mindful, because sometimes terms are like way out there. You don't really understand.
Yeah.
But like mindful is like actually being present. Like when I'm talking to her, I'm actually listening. I'm actually paying attention to my breath. You feel? So that's mindful. So when you're washing your clothes, be there, because when you're scattered in the past or the future, or thinking about something that doesn't even really exist but only in your own mind, you're not mindful. So when you're mindful, you're actually in the experience. You're in tune with the moment. To me, that's what mindful is.
People have a misconception between the difference of mental health versus mental illness. They lump them together. What do you think that's about?
Hopefully I'm understanding the question correctly.
So I can give more context,
yeah,
right? So in general, if I ask someone, tell me what physical health means, they can describe what general status of health is, right? I say, well, tell me what comes to mind when I say physical illness. Then they'll name illnesses. But oftentimes when you say anything that you associate with mental health, they automatically name mental illnesses. And they don't know how to describe what mental health is. So my question to you is, why do you think that those limitations exist? And what can we do about them?
I agree with you, and I feel like to add on to it, I feel like mental health is not talked about because of ignorance because it's never been something that we've focused on. So like our families don't know about mental health. Like and it's our job. It's this generation's job now to make mental health a thing. You see what I'm saying? Instead of until somebody gets sick and then we're like, oh, how can we fix it? But no, check in with your kids, make sure their minds are good, make sure put them in yoga. You see what I'm saying? It's coming to this point because now it's time for us to transition. Like Jennifer Lewis just said, these aren't the dark ages, these are the awakening ages. And that's what it is. It's our jobs to build this. It's that's why it hasn't existed, because always been needed, but now is the time for us to change it, and we are the change. So that's why.
That actually what's happening in the mind is happening in the body, and what's happening in the body is happening in the mind, is happening in the spirit. So there is no difference. And I think we've been, most of us, not everyone, has been socialized to see those things as different. And in this time of awakening, we're actually seeing that there is not a difference. We cannot actually draw a line between the spirit and the mind and the body.
Yo, that is so true. Listen to me, like, disease is literally dis-ease. Your body is a reflection of your mind. You're not at ease, you get what I'm saying? So please, listen, like, if you're having issues, it's literally all in your mind, and because you're not in tune with your soul, you're not in tune with the God in you. So anytime a disease shows up, it's literally you're not at ease enough. You're not going inside enough. You're not sitting with yourself enough. You're too obsessed with the outside world. You have to go inside, and that's when you find balance. And you're in tune with the power that's greater than your physical self.
Because of course there's different types of trauma. There's definitely different types of trauma, different sources of trauma. So I was just going to ask a general question. Provide any insight that you would like to on trauma and its impact. So you can explore specific types of trauma, or, and if you want to define it, because everyone's not a practitioner, right? Everyone is not aware of what that necessarily means, and people have, again, limiting ideas of what trauma might actually mean. So feel free, let the spirit flow.
You said so much good stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna start there. And then I'm like, okay, there's way too much. I don't even know where to start. But one thing when she said it takes time, everything takes time. Everything and on this earth takes time. But as far as trauma, I've like, for all this time I've been like having chapters of a book that I wanted to write, and one of the chapters was called Nose Ring. And I realized that, because I got my nose pierced like 3 years ago, but like a year after, I was still pulling it out by accident, or washing my face and it snagged, and it still hurt. And I thought it was healed because it didn't cause me a lot of pain, like my everyday life, but as soon as it snagged, it hurt. Today, if it snags, it doesn't hurt. So that's when I use nose ring as a chapter to say, like, if something comes up and it causes you any type of pain or any type of uneasiness, it's still healing that needs to be done. You see what I'm saying? So anytime there's pain or there's some type of fluster, just like the nose ring, you may think it looks like it's healed, but on the inside, it's still healing that needs to happen. So I think that's a good way to see where there is trauma in your life. You can use that to gauge, like, because I still get frustrated about my ex to this day. You feel me? But I say I'm over it, but I still get angry. So that's how I know, okay, you still healing on that part. You see what I'm saying? So like, it's just things like that. I think acknowledging that there's trauma. Like anytime there's pain, and sometimes you don't know the answers. You don't know the answers of like how you're gonna heal from it, but just the acknowledgement of it is what causes you to allow healing to come. Because our brains are limited to the knowledge that we've experienced, but when you ask the question, it'll search for the answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you'll pull from the God in you if you're quiet enough. I'm gonna pass the mic because I'll keep talking for a heck of long.
You good? About mental health and just getting to the point to where we can just lean on one another.
Okay, so we have time for Maybe 2 questions? Yes. Okay. Anyone have a question? Go ahead. Yeah. Can you project? Okay.
I'm struggling.
Okay. So she's a life coach, she said?
Yes.
Okay, so she's a life coach.
I think someone that's certified should answer after me. But my thing is, like I said, I'm just learning lessons, okay?
Yeah.
This is just stuff from my experience. Oh, I can say, don't worry about it. But honestly, I feel like when we talk to each other, we're not present most of the time. Like we're hearing the things somebody's saying, but our minds are somewhere else. So like I personally try to actually force myself to be present when I'm talking to someone, like to have eye contact and to actually listen. And I know when I'm not doing it, and I like my niece, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. Can you repeat that? You feel me? Because we're so trained to talk to somebody, and we're not even listening. Like we're just picking up keywords like for real, okay, but you didn't hear nothing they just said. You didn't hear anything. You know what I'm saying? So I think if we're honest and real and present and with that person, and I just wanted to say one thing, touching on what she said, and you like. The things you ingest, it does not answer your question, so should I just wait? Okay, pass them along.